Hello, welcome to another video. This was going to be a vlog, but obviously it's not. Yeah, I just really wasn't feeling good on the day I vlogged, so the video didn't turn out great. So I'm going to be reacting slash commentating on a video by Jubilee called Do All Transgender People Think the Same? I guess I'm just going to see like where I fall into them as well. 1 minute where I just need to close it. Oh. Okay, I'm back. I guess let's just give this a go.
Children are capable of understanding their gender identity. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ooh, that's a tricky one because a lot of people outside the trans community, that's something that they worry about. It's a very divisive thing. I would say I agree. I don't strongly agree. I think that they are capable of understanding their own gender identity, but not necessarily where that fits in with society and the rest of life. Also, I don't think they are necessarily capable of knowing which label they fit into and what they want to do with their gender identity in the future. But I think that everyone has a sense of who they are in terms of gender in their brain. I mean, that's like just biological, right? Like everyone, whether you're trans or not, like if you're a trans guy, your brain is wired to be a man. You've just got the wrong body on. And I think everyone knows that. It's just that not everyone knows how they fit in with everything else.
I was 6 years old, and I have a clear, vivid memory of telling a friend walking down the street, I think I would have been better off born a girl. And I had my whole family, like half my family telling me, you can't be that. My friends telling me, you'll never be female. And a therapist telling me like, oh, you'll never look female. Your hands are too big. Your voice is too low. And here I am, very female. Right. So I'd like to believe that I was right.
Yeah, I know when I was 7, I knew. But at the time, that was a few years ago, and there really wasn't any source of information available. But I knew there was something different about me. So kids know young, and we need to not necessarily say, okay, switch everything over right now, but we need to give them space to grow and understand what it is.
Gender roles are necessary. 3, 2, 1, go.
I think that some gender roles aren't necessarily society, For example, testosterone tends to means that you're more likely to go to a place of anger rather than a place of sadness if you're given the same situation. Although, like women doing the washing up and stuff, that's rubbish, obviously. Like, those aren't necessary at all. In fact, they are incredibly destructive. Yeah, gender roles, bullshit. Some gender stereotypes, occasionally based in fact or reality.
Gender norms and gender constructs, like growing up, they hurt me. They were like, you're a boy, you can't like dress up, you can't play with dolls. That just like made me like start to think that I wasn't made correctly or I wasn't right.
My view on gender roles as a whole is very based on my identity because like I'm non-binary. There's no like non-binary gender role, There's like female and male, and then whatever's in between, you just kind of don't belong. I feel like not belonging, I'm like kind of building my own role, which is kind of weird, but like if it didn't exist at all, I wouldn't have to. No one would have to try and fit. No one would have to build their own role. And that's like a lot of where my view on this like stems from.
Yeah. I'd like to throw one more thing in about gender roles and how hard I worked for 50 plus years trying to prove to the world I was the most masculine guy in the world. I spent a literal fortune buying every cool toy I could buy so I could go out and off-road better than anybody, fly an airplane better than anybody. I'll give you a hint, it doesn't work. It doesn't change who's inside of you. And so that whole concept of, well, you have to be this kind of a person or you're not whole is just wrong.
Okay, so as much as the gender roles are hurting by being so constricting, also that constriction a lot of that is what kind of helped me understand my trans identity. So the roles that are there, I didn't create them, but it exists. It exists. I don't want it to exist in some of the ways that it does, but it does. Do I believe this should be widened? Yeah. So that's really what I've come to.
Gender reassignment surgery is necessary to be transgender. 3, 2, 1, go.
No. No, it's not. I think that gender dysphoria is necessary to be trans, but a lot of people can't get surgery, a lot of people don't want surgery, a lot of people can't afford surgery or hormones. I'm using surgery to mean both. Yeah, it doesn't make you trans, it doesn't mean that you're not trans, it has no impact on anything other than it can help you. You know, like, I'm gonna get hormones because I think it'll help my dysphoria, I think it'll make my mental health better. But even if you have dysphoria, sometimes getting hormones, it just isn't the right option for people, regardless of other health issues or financial issues or anything like that. It's just not, yeah.
And I'll go slightly here. There we go. But it depends on the person. It very much depends on the person.
100%.
For me, it was kind of important. You know, it was just kind of the finishing step kind of thing. But a lot of people don't need it. The social transitions, the personal transitions and things that are much more important to people than the medical transition. But other people need that as a very important step to start their transition or finish their transition.
Before you have surgery, before you have hormones, before you tell anybody, and maybe even before like you really have a grasp of like what it is you're experiencing, you can already be your gender. My gender was female from the point that I, as a child, developed a sense of gender. I still get asked like, oh, like when you had your surgery, do you feel like a woman now? And I was like, not any more than I did last week,
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. For me, I could definitely like go without it and still be 100% happy, 100% like confident as a woman. But I think it's just kind of like a cherry on top and like what eventually I'm gonna need to like complete the whole circle.
Being physically female is not even in like the top 10 things that make me feel like a woman. Like me having a penis does not make me a man or does not make me less of a woman.
It's interesting to look at this, the young folk, the old folk. And that's what I've seen through the years, is that it's less and less important to the young transgender people, but it still needs to be available.
Dating is difficult for me. 3, 2, 1, go.
No idea, I'm 14. I mean, it's something I worry about a lot. If a guy's gay, is he gonna want me? If a guy isn't gay, am I gonna be able to deal with that knowing that he's seeing me as female? You know, it's a whole thing.
Dating is very hard. The only kind of people that I attract are people that want to like fetishize trans people. So they'll be like, like you're so hot, I want to do this and this and this with you. But then I'm like, oh, but like let's go out in public, let's like go to dinner or something. And they're like, ooh, I don't know about all that. Like I don't want my friends to know I'm dating someone like you. And it's like they feel like they have to come out as well as someone who's attracted to like a trans person.
I agree. It's confusing for them if they say like, oh, so am I like gay or something like that? And it's like, no, because I am attracted to straight men and like straight men are like attracted to me. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Like liking penis and liking vagina like doesn't make you gay or straight. It's like liking a man or liking a woman makes you gay or straight.
Exactly.
It's a little weird being like not a part of the binary, so people are really like, so what am I? What are you? Like, what is this?
Where do we fit together?
Yeah, it's kind of like, I think I like you, but I don't know what I like. What is this? I'm like, if you like, then take, you know?
They just want to like, put like a label on everything.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
sometimes
I
we
think-
don't need that, you
I
know?
just think people need to stop with like, oh, I'm attracted to men, or like, oh, this. It's like, no, you're attracted to like a human being. You're attracted to a person.
There are risks to being transgender. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, there are. Yeah. Yeah, lots of people don't like us. And so there's a risk there that wouldn't be there if they didn't mind us. So yeah, I agree.
Transitioning is dangerous.
Yeah,
Transitioning
100%.
is not easy. Like I've been beaten, I've had death threats, I've had sexual assault. Someone threatened me of that. And I'm privileged in this community because of my race or because I transitioned younger. And the biggest problem is that trans women of color are the ones being murdered in this country. Like trans people of color are the ones at risk. And this is the real issue that people need to know about. But like, it is totally worth it because there's no life outside of this.
That's definitely real. That's real. So the fear of violence from others, yes, that's a risk. But I don't know. There's risks playing the stock market. There's a risk when you eat that McDonald's. Everything's a risk, you know, nowadays. But I feel like what's really worth it was my mental health. That's not a risk I'm willing to take, because that's the real death.
I love my body. 3, 2, 1, go.
No, strongly disagree. Yeah, kind of sucks. I guess that'll change as I get older, and if when I physically transition, or even before that, I think I'm aiming to body neutrality, not necessarily body positivity.
Now, in my case, I really agree, because this is the body I got. Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest things I did for myself was all during my cross-dressing days. I used to put on all the crazy foundation wear, trying to squeeze myself into something that I didn't fit in. And I looked at myself one day and I said, you know, you look as good as X number of regular women. Have I made a few changes? Yes, but that doesn't change the fact that I love who I am and what my physical presence is.
It's just so hard. It's so hard because like being told like women have this and women look like this and women, and it's like, then I don't look like that. So I must hate my body then, because my body is what keeps me from looking like a woman. But then I like get out of that like toxic mindset and I'm just like, wait, I am a woman.
I wish I had said strongly agree, but that's not the truth. And
Right.
The truth is that I love my mind, I love my life, but there are days that I have where my self-esteem issues are so bad that I can't leave the room. And I almost didn't even go to my college graduation because I was like, I'm not female enough to graduate college or something. And all that being said, I have no regrets, that was the thing. Because if I hadn't transitioned, I just wouldn't have a life at all.
Sometimes I wish I wasn't transgender. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't wish that I wasn't trans in that I don't wish I was female, but I do wish I was cis. So I wish I was just a cis guy, you know, fully binary. I don't know why I don't wish I was a female. I think it's just because I'm not, so it's hard to like imagine. Yeah, so I guess yes, I really wish that I was cis. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yes, I guess, yeah, I strongly agree.
No.
I often have told people that, you know, this is not something I would wish purposefully on my worst enemy. You know, it's not pleasant. You go through all sorts of interesting changes. It cost me my spouse that I love dearly, but it was so important to me that it had to happen that I'm pleased that I did it. It's the best thing I've ever done in my life, but it's also something I'd never wish on anybody else on purpose.
For me, it's I'm disagreeing, because it's not the fact that I'm trans that I don't like. It's the discrimination that I face that I don't like. The intersections that I hold, being black, being trans, you know, you find like discrimination comes at you in different ways. And so that's really what I could do without.
Yeah, I think the main thing that I just like hate, like everyone else is saying, is the discrimination, because it's the fact that like, oh, if I'm in a certain situation, or oh, I'm somewhere, like I have to worry about my safety for like literally being like who I am in that sense. And it's like nobody should have to worry about like whether they're gonna like make it through something just for like being themselves.
So true.
Obviously, I don't think this will ever like go away fully, but as I was like coming out, it like, I would like have times where I was like, God, I wish I wasn't like this. Like, I wish I wasn't trans, because then like my life would be easier. I wish I was born a woman, or I wish that I was just like comfortable being male. And then I realized that like if I was born a female, like I wouldn't be a part of the LGBTQ community.
Because I'm gay, it's different for me because I would still be queer. And I like that, you know, it's although obviously there are bad parts to it. I guess what I'm saying is that I love the queer community, well, most of it. And so I don't think I would want to be straight. I would never want to, I guess I would never want to be cis and straight.
I wouldn't have gone through the struggles that I have gone through, and like I would be a completely different person, and I love who I am, and so I don't think I would want to change that. And I'm proud to be trans.
Time for the Gina selfie. Everybody on this side of me, please.
Awesome. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, no, but seriously, I'm trying to grow my channel, trying to get people to watch this. So, like if you liked it, subscribe if you didn't, and I'll see you in the next video.